Okay, we're now talking to Yat about, we just took a tour of Outblaze. Now we're going to hear about the latest deal they're involved in, which is with Turner. Turner being...
So basically it's Turner Networks Asia. The particular focus for this deal is to begin in Asia with the Cartoon Network assets.
Okay, Turner being Turner Broadcasting,
Turner
as in
Broadcasting.
Ted Turner, as in...
Timing.
Yeah, okay.
Right. And basically what we're doing with them right now is we're enabling essentially the Cartoon Network assets of Turner, which I think are Powerpuff Girls, Ben 10, Mojo Jojo, and those assets, and basically taking them sort of onto the web and basically providing sort of web social media services to them as well in a child-friendly manner for, delivering basically web services.
Okay,
for
give
kids.
me the big names. Who are the big names that I know?
In terms of the characters?
Yeah.
Powerpuff Girls?
My favorites.
Yeah, Powerpuff Girls. Well, Tom, you didn't strike me as that target audience.
Who else is there? Who else is there?
You're a closet Powerpuff fan. All right. Ben 10 is quite popular. I think some of the characters that are on the Cartoon Network channel that are very famous would be characters like Tom and Jerry, for instance. That would be sort of a classic. But then the other ones very famous, I think, like in Dexter's Lab.
So you're going to be providing an online presence for Tom and Jerry.
That's part of the plan, although the focus is not on that character. The focus is on the sort of recent Turner characters. Which
Okay, the
contemporary
currently popular ones.
Exactly,
Okay.
yes.
And online presence means what?
So online presence basically means not just simply, of course, a website, but basically a community. We're going to offer ways for children and fans of the service to basically have their own blogs and their own basically upload, the content of their own shared with their friends. Games, massively multiplayer online games.
So there's no Turner presence for these currently?
At this moment, there's no presence for this.
There's no web Powerpuff Girls?
There is a website, but it's really brochureware, as you would describe it, basically just offering sort of basic services or the information about program channels, maybe some flash games. But generally speaking, there's actually not any true interactive services. So in that sense, you could describe it as very, very 1.0 perhaps.
Okay, and why are you the right company to be doing this? Why should Turner be trusting you? What experience do you have, or what can you bring?
So, I mean, basically, one of the differences about the way that we've been working is many of our existing clients and partners, let's say such as Sanrio,
owners of Hello Kitty.
Owners of Hello Kitty are actually trusting us to deliver them to the web and basically online and new media sort of area. And we have had built a successful model working with bigger, larger, established media companies, enabling them in that area, as opposed to basically trying to disrupt them. So many of the existing companies out there are looking to disrupt their businesses and maybe hopefully hope to be bought out perhaps for nice sums of money. Our approach has been rather different. We are sort of more the allies of those big media companies. We basically help them, enable them, move them in the online arena, and basically we hopefully, by working together, will share the success together.
So what is it that you did to Hello Kitty that you'll be able to apply to
So for Hello Kitty, we launched
Powerpuff
a website
Girls
called Sanrio Town, which basically is a community today that boasts over 2 million users.
Where did you start from?
In Asia. We have not yet launched it in the US. And we just...
And how many users, when did you start it with, when was it zero users?
Well, the site launched basically with Sanrio Digital in November 2006. And so that service, in this case, is specifically women and girls from all sorts of ages. Anyone who knows Hello Kitty knows that Hello Kitty fans exist from the age of little kids all the way to senior citizens. And so we basically created a web community, social services, blog services, which is one of the fastest growing services actually on Sanrio Town. Games. We're about to launch a massively multiplayer online game as well.
So you make games as well here?
So we make games as well for that for the community. We've also launching actually console games. So basically anything in the sort of digital arena space, developing a market that is there in terms of fan base, but it has never actually been developed by Sanrio. And of course, the opportunities is not just simply a tie-in of digital product, but then also tie-in with potential sort of physical product as well. Merchandising, licensing.
But that's not your end. That would be they would be the physical end. You're just the digital
No,
end.
actually, we are also assisting and in some cases also producing in that area as well. So, for instance, in Hong Kong, we launched the online game together with a 3D animation, the first ever 3D animation featuring Hello Kitty and her friends, 52 episodes. We're also making toys. Of course, we're working with licensors, big toy companies in Hong Kong and China to produce those. but basically commissioned through our animation. Yeah.
With these Hello Kitty cartoons, you produce the cartoons?
We actually produce a cartoon, write the script, all that kind of stuff.
Wow, okay. And these are the first time that Hello Kitty was ever in a cartoon?
In a 3D cartoon. Hello Kitty has had a cartoon many years ago, but we're sort of remodernizing that, and that's what we're doing.
Okay. Will you be doing that with the Powerpuff Girls as well?
So with Powerpuff Girls, our focus is first web, because of course, unlike Sanrio.
Well, sorry, just to quickly go back again. With the Hello Kitty one, you went from 0 to 2 million members in how long?
Since November
in November.
2006.
That's a lot of members very quickly.
That was,
how many languages? Which languages?
We started in English, Chinese, and that was our sort of first launch. And now, actually, in the beginning of this year, we just launched with Europe. So basically, we've got German, we've got I think French and Italian, and Turkish will eventually come out as well, and Spanish as well. And then US will be launching sometime this year as well.
Okay, and basically you're wanting to replicate this model with the Turner characters as well.
That's part of that, but we're actually also doing, there's also a slightly different angle here. Unlike Sanrio, which has a very large merchandising reach already, for instance, Turner doesn't have any strong merchandising reach in comparison, because Turner doesn't see the assets that it has, such as Powerpuff Girls or Ben 10, as actual sort of assets the same way Sanrio does. It views itself more as a channel, meaning Cartoon Network. And so what they're realizing that change, they want to move into that direction, but as an organization haven't necessarily switched on to that in terms of moving the organization that way. That's kind of where we're coming in to help them out, and using the web as a platform. And we're not just going to be doing Turner characters. We also intend to acquire maybe interesting new characters or designs coming from places like China or Korea or Japan, and sort of using the web again as a platform.
So interesting. What you're doing is with Sanrio Town, what you did is you introduced a little bit more of the idea of what Cartoon Network is, and with Cartoon Network, you're introducing them to a little bit more about what the Sanrio Town
That's correct.
has or what their strength was before. So in a way, you're kind of bridging those two models.
That's correct. Yeah, and there's opportunity in both sides, and different market segments, and using that experience, we can leverage that combination of merchandising, web, physical products, online and offline. We very much believe is sort of in a connected world where it's not right. One of the things that's happening right now on the internet is the new startups that are disruptive are saying old is bad, new is good, which is there's some truth to that, but it's not sort of a black and white scenario. In fact, old and new needs to be combined, because when these old companies, so-called old media companies, buy these new media companies, they actually accelerate and grow together. It's not like the new is totally replacing the old. So you actually need to combine the two. And so what we're basically doing is just working with them to leverage and generate that potential from within the organization, as opposed to sort of doing the totally disruptive approach.
Okay, excellent.
Okay.
Thank you very much.